Well. You know what? Play the violin. I sat on here and we all thought there was a chance. And once again, there are kids in elementary school in the city of Pittsburgh that have never seen this team be competitive in the postseason. It was great. We were 3-1, 4-1 leading up to that game, and bang, it all disappears. One of the best games we've ever seen against the Ravens earlier this month in January. I thought it was the momentum we needed to pack a punch against Houston, CJ Stroud, and the Texans. Instead, I was left once again with my head to the sky wondering, where are the answers for this football team? What did we think? Zap, I'll start with you.
Woo.
Man, what a just pathetic flame out to end the season, man. It's like we've seen this story before. It's just depressing, man.
And Boomin, you were there too, right?
Yeah, man. We was in the building, man. We was in the building, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be a little selfish here. I'm glad I was laying on the couch under a nice warm blanket watching the game while you boys were there freezing, because that was tough.
It was bad. It felt like the Cleveland game all over again.
Yeah, and as soon as they went up and scored that touchdown, you could just feel the this game's over. And it was a 1-point game.
Yep.
It's just sad, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when we repeatedly couldn't get in field goal range. I was like, if we can get in field goal range, I'll take field goals against the number one defense. You just gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the field goals. But we just could not get there. And I had one of my followers actually bless me with sideline access to the game. So I can say that for Rodgers and Mike Tomlin's last game, I was on the sideline, bro. And
it's pretty cool.
It was a loss overall, but that was a win to me, man. Just to see them like right there in my face type thing. And I did not think that was the last game, bro. Like going into it, I thought we would have found a way to get through it. But yeah, man, it's the same thing repeatedly every season. It seems like the team did just enough to win, to have a winning season.
Yep.
I think it's interesting to see the different reactions online. Yeah, man. I think a lot of people don't care about facts right now. I think people care more about what they care about than actual facts.
A lot of emotions right now. And rightfully so, because we have read the same book 10 times in a row, everybody. I thought we might have had a chance. At least we didn't go down by 4 scores in the first half.
Right. Yeah.
We finally scored in the first quarter.
We scored first in a playoff game. Like, what?
Crazy.
And we were out from ahead against a great defense. The defense came to play. 3 turnovers, but only 3 points off of them. CJ Stroud looked like he didn't know where he was. Okay, he was, I didn't think, very good. Although I will say some of those third down throws were superhuman. Other than that, I did not think it was good at all. Now, I will say the Steelers talk, we're going to get to Mike Tomlin, but they talk a lot about playing for Mike Tomlin. TJ says that's the kind of guy you want to run through a wall for. Jalen Ramsey, that's the best guy. All of these huge words for Mike Tomlin. And every single game in the playoffs, if I were to ask you all one word to describe it, I think the best conclusion that we would come out is lackadaisical. No one out there wanted to perform. TJ Watt, for the second year in a row, no statistics pretty much. Third year in a row. Pardon me.
I mean, he said, 5 playoff games in his career is 1 sack?
He doesn't do anything, guys. Let's be real. Not trading TJ Watt might be.
Has he won a playoff game?
Nope.
He never has.
He has not won a. That seems unreal to me, bro.
And if we're cleaning
TJ
house,
Watt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They just can't get it done. That defense is old. They were outperformed. It's the highest paid defense in the National Football League.
And they were outperformed by a defense that they wanted to be. Coming into the season, we were supposed to be the team that was getting pressure with 4 guys that were playing man up. And we had to pivot halfway through the season because we didn't evaluate our talent properly. We heard generational defense coming into the season out of training camp. Yeah, generationally bad.
Dude, the person that said that isn't even on the team anymore. Juan Thornhill, he's not even on the team.
But even Tomlin was saying stuff like that, though. You know, Tomlin was on board.
Bro, it was all over our Instagram, TikToks, Twitters. I watched Juan Thornhill. I watched him say that. I heard him say that in person, and my oh my, am I so unhappy that I did.
It's crazy.
Because I will never forget this season, and with how good Aaron Rodgers was, he didn't play good. I didn't think as good as maybe he should have, but there were a lot of moving parts. Like the line wasn't great around him. He's got no receiver help. And DK, I think the swing of the game was him dropping that football on the right boundary, on the right out of bounds line. You got to catch that, especially coming out of suspension. It makes Aaron Rodgers rethink every throw to you. You overthink everything. You're not.
That was a layup.
I mean, they didn't. Rodgers didn't target him until the beginning of the fourth quarter after that drop.
For that.
That was a layup, bro.
It really was.
All he had to do is boop right there.
Against that kind of defense, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That game really tracked it like just the perfect storm of all things bad happening, right? DK comes back from suspension. He has a subpar performance. Our offensive line, who'd been gelling over the season, had a subpar performance.
Yep.
Like
Siamalu was getting destroyed. He was getting destroyed, bro.
And I mean, credit to the Texans too. I mean, their edge rushers are. I mean, they're all pros. Like Will Anderson,
he's a guard.
Dog. I know, but still, like they're getting inside pressure on him. It's just, it was rough.
They are that good.
Even Troy Fautanu struggled, man.
I was in the stadium.
Fautanu did struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They all struggled. I was in the stadium, and I looked over to my dad, and I said, "You know what? Whoever scores the defensive touchdown is going to win this game." That's And 2 drives later, my boy what I didn't even know who it was. I literally didn't even look. I looked up to the sky and I said, there's no way that this just happened again. Because Rodgers got absolutely destroyed. Somehow no one recovered it. McCormick was on the ground. Malu was on the ground looking up to the stars just like me. You know what I'm saying? It's an embarrassment.
Looking up at the stars like we looked up at the drone show at halftime.
And you want to know what the funniest part of it is we failed to utilize our best offensive weapon that game until the fourth quarter. And his first catch was like a 25-yard huge catch to kind of swing the momentum a little bit. Where was that at the beginning of the game? We're targeting a guy like Jonnu Smith who had 2 receptions for -1 yards. It's really bad on all cylinders. It's so bad.
The Jonnu Smith experiment,
it's
not
completely
good.
Failed. He had one good play against Miami. And I'll also bring this up. Pat Freiermuth after the game said, I was disappointed with the lack of opportunities that I had.
He should be, man. We're paying him to be a top tight end.
That's his whole career, though.
Barely used him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's his whole career. Like, they have not ever used Pat Freiermuth the way they should. And it's really disappointing to see.
Ben, last year, his rookie season, he was a dog. And that was about the only time that I remember him being a huge part of the offense. And now
that has to be frustrating, man.
Yeah. And I don't know if maybe Rodgers and him have some kind of beef, because I remember watching in training camp, like I'd see Rodgers maybe hard target DK and he'd throw his hands up. But, you know, I think he's a competitor. I don't think that there's necessarily beef, but, you know, you wonder what the vibe is in the locker room right now.
Yeah.
Not good.
It can't be good.
And
it
finally,
can't be good.
Because Art Rooney today got up on the press conference and he said absolutely nothing other than one thing. And that was, I was ready to run it back with Tomlin again this year. And that showed me, it's like, really, bro?
He also said that we're not tanking in so many words.
Yeah, he
like that.
He pretty much said, you know, I'm happy if we're competing. Well, the problem is just because we're making the playoffs doesn't mean we're competing. We haven't made a divisional round in a decade. That's not competing.
Yeah. I didn't like that what did he say? He said in contention.
In contention, yeah. And we're
Yeah,
not
he
in
said in
contention.
contention. Like we're not. We haven't been in contention in a long time.
Mhm.
I
Nope.
think he meant. I think he meant competing, but he said contention, and
Mhm.
he said that, and the other thing he said about not tanking. I like to hear the fact that he doesn't think we should tank. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like some of these other franchises out here. Like how people talking about, oh man, you're gonna be a 3-win team, a 5-win team. Honestly, I don't think those are real Steelers fans. If you ask
I think
me,
the Steelers will still be good next year.
Hey,
yeah,
even if they do have a rough year, we were 6-10 the year before we got Ben. So like it's not out of the realm of possibilities that we have a under 500 season.
right.
Maybe we have 6 or 7 wins and we're able to reset, with a stud quarterback coming in. Not this upcoming draft, but the following. You don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I just
don't
think we have a good team. I think we have a decent team. We had a couple spots, and I think we had a couple. You talked the year before, Ben. It's like my goodness, like I think we got a couple spots right now that needs to be tended to. I still think first round should be an offensive lineman, especially the way Siamala was getting blasted. Like you gotta go get that guard. You need at least to go get a guard.
I'd like
Dylan Cook.
Roderick.
Dylan Cook came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so, all right, we're good there. At least get a guard. All right. Right side, McCormick, Faltano, I'll take that. And then you can go get a wide receiver, quarterback, whatever you want to do. But if you can't run the ball, if you can't block for the passer, we're not doing nothing.
Would it be crazy to move Broderick inside the guard?
That's what I was just going to say, because multiple linemen have done that in the past that just don't pan out at left tackle. And he's been decent, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's an athletic guy. He's not a stand there and protect. Although
I don't think so. I don't think Broderick has the mentality to play guard.
Mhm.
When I think of a guard, I think of mean people.
Yeah.
That's
like
fair.
mean people, like guys that
The
like
road
you know what I'm
graders
saying?
getting in there
Yeah,
dirty.
just pull a mask over your face, go inside, rob the bank. You know what I'm saying? Slap the property manager up. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a female. No, I'm not with that. But I'm just saying, like, you think of mean people when you think of guards, because they have to be so physical. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot be a nice guy and play offensive guard in the NFL, let alone high school or let alone like college. You just can't. I think Broderick is too nice. I do. I don't know if he could pan out a guard.
My
That's
guess
fair.
for the draft is Mekhi Lemon. I think you need the receiver. It showed on multiple occasions this year. You were running out there with a core of Scotty Miller as your wide receiver 3, Marquez as your 1, and you can't win games like that. Look at Cleveland. You know what I mean? It helps everyone on your team because it helps you get the ball out quicker. You get more explosive. You can do a lot more. And I think coaching is going to resemble that. And you're right about the guard. We need one. I don't think it's a first round need, though. It's a free agency need or a later round pick for me.
I will say, if we do want to talk about a little bit of positive from this season, I do think our offensive line is trending towards positive, because when we came into the season, we thought it was going to be bad, and they had some rough times, but I think for the most part, like these young guys really stepped up. And again, of course, they had their worst game of the season in the playoffs, so the taste in our mouth is bad. But
that's a defense. That's the first, defense.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
you got 3 to 4 pretty solid young offensive linemen. I think that's a huge positive to build off of. So if they would go guard in the draft, I don't think that would be bad. I also think if they went receiver in the draft, that wouldn't be bad, because you're right, we got no explosiveness.
So my question to y'all, if y'all, and this might be a question you can answer later on after like really digging into it. I think history has shown us that the offensive linemen go first. You could find a wide receiver in the second round. You could find a wide receiver in the third round, to be honest with you. But the top tier offensive linemen, like franchise offensive linemen, cornerstone guys that stay with your franchise for 10 years, unless there's an issue with contract talks or stuff like that, those guys are gone in the first round.
You're correct.
1,000%. You know what I'm saying? And you could find a wide receiver.
I don't think we're going to have the answer until we know who our next head coach is.
Facts.
Because we just got.
But you still need a line to do that.
Here's what I'll say, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, we just interviewed that guy Nate Shiel something.
Shiel Haas.
Shiel Haas.
Best Yinzer name of all time.
Best Yinzer name.
Shiel Haas.
Shiel Haas. Offensive-minded head coach. Keep in mind, 13 of the last 14 Super Bowl champions have been offensive head coaches. Just going to put that out there. Next up, if you have a passing game expert as your next head coach, what way is he going to go in the draft? He wants the weapons to passing game coordinate, right? You get a defensive guy, maybe he goes corner. We don't know these answers until we get our next head coach in, because scheme is going to be absolutely huge no matter who your next guy is, because you got 20 years with your next pick based on recent trends. You know what I mean? So you better make the right pick here with your next with your next head coach. I absolutely love the move. And honestly, Tomlin, you have done so much for Steeler Nation, brought us a Super Bowl. You know, you got to give him some props for that. But
absolutely,
it
for sure
was getting old and ridiculous. I wasn't even surprised that we got blown out 30-6 in the wild card round. That's how bad it's gotten.
I don't think there's any person in the city that was surprised by the result of that game.
No, I mean,
which is a shame.
I'm not surprised by the result. I am surprised that they gave up 2 defensive touchdowns. Were they both in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Yep.
I am surprised by that. And I didn't even see the second one because I was taking pictures with Ryan Clark in the tunnel. Like after that first one, I was like, man, whatever, man. I was like, all right, cool.
Then Woody Marks came down and got a touchdown, or maybe that was before or after. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
but
that's just wild. That is wild to me. We gave up 14 points off of defensive tuds in the fourth quarter. Like, I get it, but going into the game, one of my things was I like us because I feel as though Aaron Rodgers would be the difference maker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he would protect the football, that sort of thing. But guys running the wrong routes, you know what I'm saying? Guys not protecting the offensive linemen not protecting him. You know, it's just, yeah.
And you know, our defense played well enough to keep us in that game, but at the same time, our defense didn't play well enough because we needed them to shut them out to have a chance in that game, which is unfortunate. Correct, but it comes back to what we talked about from the Bills game, even some other games, is the time of possession, right? Like, they just dominated us with the run game. We couldn't get off the field, and you know, all of a sudden you're forcing the ball down the field, you're throwing interceptions, you're taking sacks that are turned into fumbles, and it just all spirals out of control.
It does.
At one point, I was just in disbelief. They converted every third down with the exception of like one.
8 for 12 at one point.
That first drive where we had him almost 3 and out, and he hit that like little floater pass to Kirk. Yeah. He caught that, and I was like, "Oh, we're cooked. Like, this is not gonna go well."
Yeah,
they did the exact same thing that Baltimore did. There was no adjustment made whatsoever, and that's why I was like, you know, people are like, "Oh yeah, how can you fire?" Technically, Tomlin didn't get fired. Okay, we said it already. We're gonna say it again. We're gonna keep saying it. The first firing should be Terrell Austin. That should be the first firing. The second 100%. One should be Arthur Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, dude, the week before, Baltimore gave Houston the blueprint for their offense.
Yep.
They just, them floaters across the middle. Dude, they kept running them little drag routes across the middle, and Echoes kept getting burnt, dude. Like, it was
bad.
And Deshaun Elliott is such a big loss for this team that no one realizes, because
for sure,
if you go back and look at some of the third down conversions they have, it was always in this sweet spot right in the middle of our zone coverage where I feel like Deshaun would have picked up Chuck Clark. He wasn't going down on it, and you know, he would have made that. No one made plays. No one recognized it. And there were so many of the same issues that we've been preaching to get changed for the past 10 years. Running down our throats, up our gut, whatever way you want to put it, it doesn't change the fact. Woody Marks had over 100 yards on the ground. You can't win football games like that. And people were saying, Derek Harmon's going to come in here and make it happen and do this and that and be our savior. That didn't happen. TJ Watt, he got his money. He's going to go have an incredible season. He did not. Cam Hayward played good. Got to give him his credit there. I'd say both get all three of the players outside of Derek Harmon out that I just mentioned. TJ and Hayward got to go. Jalen Ramsey, I think that he wanted an early vacation. Kick the feet up. Man, I get it. Go to Cancun nice and early. I understand. Nice weather down there, the beach, all that. He was terrible the last 2 games, I thought. There was a lot of plays that he didn't make. He wasn't in the right spots, and he just kind of got caught flat-footed. He's too big of a contract to have that happen.
It was just a little surprising to me, too. Like, a guy like Kyle Duggar, who we brought in mid-season, who came out like a freaking bat out of hell, had 2 fantastic games, and then he just absolutely faltered down the stretch.
Yeah.
And he's a guy, to your point, he's playing for Deshaun Elliott, right? So, that's a big time, loss whenever you have a guy that's coming in doing well, and then all of a sudden he regresses very, very quickly. It's just tough.
Bro, I think he started lagging. I think his Madden game started lagging because
when he got mossed in the Cleveland game,
his controller disconnected out there. I mean, seriously, this dude was on some McDonald's Wi-Fi to end the streak. Got to be playing
the McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Whatever it was not working out. Listen, I wish I was laughing. I wish this was funny. It ain't. Okay, it's an embarrassment to the city of Pittsburgh that we are having these conversations year after year. And it is funny. It is funny, right? But let's be honest with each other. Thank God that Mike Tomlin stepped down as the Steelers head coach, because this city would just be so depressed. It was such a breath of fresh air yesterday morning when you got that news, because you said, finally, it's a step in the right direction. And yes, Mike T, you were great with Bill Cowher's team. I'll give you your flowers there. But, oh my goodness, it was time. And it's so frustrating watching the same thing. I don't care if he gets us to 9-8, because we do not care. You're not a good team unless you push 10, 11 wins. Good. We beat a struggling Baltimore team to get in the playoffs. Baltimore lost that game. They missed the field goal. We didn't win it. They lost it, in my opinion.
Actually, that Priest won the game for us. But that's neither.
Can we quickly talk though on the fact that 3 head coaches in the AFC North, there's 3 vacancies, and arguably the worst coach is the one left standing.
Not arguably, definitely the worst coach, bro.
Like,
Zach Taylor.
Yeah,
it's kind of surprising. I mean, if just think back to a recent history, like the AFC North was the place to be.
I know,
and we were one of the weakest divisions this year, and you got 3 head coaches going out the door. Yep. Like it's tough times right now in the AFC North, man.
And that's good for us if we want to contend, because it kind of gives us, okay, let's break in here. Let's restart the rivalries from the ground up. Cleveland's getting some new head coaches. Let's bring Rodgers back if he wants to come back. Let's draft a guy like.
I don't think he comes back.
No Tomlin. I don't think Rodgers comes back.
I say Rodgers comes back right here, right now.
Oh, I would love for Rodgers to come back, but I don't think he's coming back.
I would bet on Rodgers is coming back next year.
I personally think that Mike T was a huge reason why he came here in the first place. And with Tomlin leaving, I don't see what the desire for him would be to come back here if he wants to play another season. But, to be fair, if we do bring in an offensive-minded young coach, maybe he's interested in that and wants to come run it back.
Yep.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say Rodgers right now with Tomlin leaving, he's checked out, in my opinion. But if there's a guy that has a great enough offensive scheme and then know how to put stuff together offensively, I think he would entertain it.
Sure.
I still don't think it's a solid go for him to come back, but I think he entertains the thought of it. Because if they going in with a game, like this is the first time really he'll have like a full like offensive, like, yo, this is what we trying to do. What are your thoughts? Who you looking for? Who should we go after? What player? Because these guys, I mean, especially Rodgers, he looks at college ball too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like who do you want? And we'll try to get him here.
The Ravens owner was like, someone asked him like, "Oh, like
He was trolling.
Lamar gonna
Yeah,
have
he was. He was trolling.
He was But someone asked him, like, does Lamar have any say on who you bring in? And he says, yeah, he has all to say, but no power. I just started laughing at that. But it's a fact. And I would listen to Aaron Rodgers. I'd say, okay,
Yeah.
what are the thoughts on your end? You know, you've been in this league a long time. You know, will you come back? All the conversations that needs to be had. But we already know he's on a flight to Peru right now in a dark room, darkness retreat for the next 7 days. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, all right? This is an open book. Change has already happened. Is Rodgers an answer? Is Rodgers a Super Bowl winning quarterback anymore? I don't know.
I mean, I think if you realistically look at the outcomes for next season, really whoever you bring in here, like, is a Super Bowl the first year actually on the table? I don't necessarily think so. So even if Rodgers does run it back, I think that's a tough ask. I mean, it could happen. You never know, but you know, he has probably, if he wants to, 1 season left. I can't really see 2. The only reason he would come back, I think, is just that he just feels like he needs to still be balling, and maybe he wants to help a young coach and a young quarterback. But I also don't think that's really his goal. I think his goal this season was truly, I think I can come here and compete for a Super Bowl. And unfortunately, that did not happen.
Yep. I wonder if he'll go somewhere else, but I mean, that's
I don't think he goes anywhere else, man. I think if he plays next year, I think it's with us or no one, to be honest with you. Because I feel as though they would make it sweet for him to have like input, you know what I'm saying, in the drafts and stuff like that. I think he has good insight. I would trust what he has to say. And I think if we address what I think we should address, offensive line first and foremost, because he took some hits on Monday night that he 1000% should not have taken. If we have an offensive line to give him a little bit of time, he'll figure some stuff out.
And you win in the trenches in this league too.
Right. You got to have an offensive line. 2, if we bring in somebody that has an offensive mind, more than Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin's a defensive coach. So, like, all right, bring in somebody that's offensive minded. Give him a chance.
Let me sorry, Bowman. Let me bring something up. The Steelers over the last 14 drafts have an 8% hit rate on their first round picks. What do I mean by that? Only one player that they drafted in the first round have gotten a second contract. And Tomlin, he has taken full blame for the draft. He says, I got it. It's me. Right? And I think we've drafted pretty good in the first round over the last couple of years. You know, Joey Porter Jr. basically a first round pick, but they're not top tier talent, and you miss in the 2010s. You don't put yourself over the top, and that's how you do it in the first round of the NFL draft. So I think that getting a new guy in there that's going to have an idea of what he needs to be doing and how to develop, you know, bringing in maybe a Raheem Morris, or if we hire that guy Chris Shula and then have Nate Shalhass, the Yinzer at OC, I think that could be really good too. I'd get rid of J. Watt for a second round pick if that's what it came up to. Get rid of Hayward, and I'd package Ramsey with it. I'd package all 3 for a first. I really would.
I don't think that we're going to see a mass exodus of players getting traded. I really don't. I think the guys that are on the roster right now that aren't restricted free agents, maybe one of those guys gets traded. I could see Cam Hayward maybe retiring. Who knows? But I don't think you're going to see 4, 5, 6, 7 guys getting traded and pushed out the door, because that would be going into full tank mode. And Art Rooney straight up said today that is not what he is planning on doing.
I don't know if it's even necessarily tanking. I just think like TJ is getting the job done. Hayward, he's getting the job done, but he's at the light's about to go out on his candle. And then Ramsey is flat-footed way too often. Sayamalu, I don't think he's restricted. But I will also say you're not losing a lot of free agents outside of Kenneth Gainwell this year.
Yeah, I got the list up. I got the free agent list.
Go ahead.
So we'll run down this real fast. So Aaron Rodgers, unsure. Kyle Duggar.
You can get better talent.
Yep. And I'm also going, this is in their average pay value as well from this season. So that was 1 and 2. Isaac Seumalo is number 3.
Peace, bro.
Thielen retired. Miles Killebrew coming off a bad knee injury, but I'd like to see him back. 2 defensive linemen, Quale and Lowry.
See, they're just mid. I would keep one of them.
Cole Holcomb.
No, out.
Kenneth Gainwell, pay the man.
Yeah, pay him.
Loudermilk, he tends to stay around, but another just depth piece.
In the words of our ex-head coach, we do not care.
Andrews Pete, offensive lineman.
For depth.
Chuck Clark.
Yeah, for sure.
Out the door.
Scotty Miller, gone. Jabril Peppers, probably gone. MVS, gone. Steel City's guy, Asante Samuel Jr.
I'd keep.
I knew you would.
I would keep him. I would keep him too.
I didn't even realize he was still on the roster. Darnold Parham Jr., tight end.
Get him out of here, bro.
and then we're kind of starting to get into some other guys, but James Pierre's on here, Calvin Austin III, Connor Hayward.
James Pierre's on there.
He is. Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent according to this article
Pierre's
on Steelers Depot.
Pierre's gonna get a bag. He might not get it from us, but he's gonna get a bag.
I mean, on this list,
yeah, he had a good year. He had a good year.
But
he had a good year.
I mean, realistically, on this list,
I'm not saying we got to pay him, but he has had the season to where he can say, "Hey, this is what I did," and
yeah.
He's gonna get paid.
I mean, guys on this list that I realistically would want back would be Killebrew, Gainwell, Chuck Clark, Asante Samuel. I don't mind him as a depth.
Chuck Clark?
I don't mind him as a depth piece, man. I don't want him starting games. But like, if you're gonna have to be filling spots, I think he'd be serviceable.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then Calvin Austin, sure. Other sneaky piece on here that's still on here is our punter Waitman.
I'd keep him.
Yeah.
So what? There's 4 or 5 guys you got to pay in house, and then
and your boy Skylar Thompson's on this list too.
The Irish.
Yeah. I think honestly, where Mason at in all this?
I think he has another year. Yeah, I think he has another year.
Yeah, I think him and Will Howard flip. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, they're gonna draft the quarterback.
Obviously.
Carson Beck, welcome to Pittsburgh.
Could you see them trading for a Malik Willis or somewhere along someone in that kind of vein? I've seen that rumor out there a little bit.
I heard Dak. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
I don't want Dak.
Dak Prescott. He's an MVP. He's actually gonna win the MVP this year. That's crazy.
I don't want Dak.
You don't want Dak?
Bro, what has he won?
Yeah. He's had all the weapons. He's had an offensive scheme.
He plays in a dome. You want him to come and play in the cold in Pittsburgh after having a whole
career? But what other options are there? Because you got Rodgers, you got Kyler Murray, or you got Tua. Those are your top 3 options.
I know you don't like Will Howard, bro. Like I get it, but that's not our only option.
No, I mean, like, I don't hate Will Howard. But what I will say is,
kind of comes off as hate.
Go into the season
just a little bit, just a little bit.
You cannot go in to the 2026 season with a 6th-round quarterback you drafted last year as your starting quarterback. Period.
I don't think he was a 6th-round quarterback, and I say that off the strength of it. Look at what Ohio State did this year. They was bounced super early.
Mm-hmm.
He played with NFL talent. Every quarterback plays with NFL talent.
I wouldn't mind a guy like Carson Beck. I really wouldn't. I actually like.
We're not gonna be able to touch Carson Beck, are we?
Carson Beck will go to the 2nd or 3rd.
Isn't he like 38?
Is that what he's projected?
Yeah, Carson Beck's a 3rd-round guy right now.
Yeah, but isn't he like 38 years old? I mean, he's been in college football for like 17 years.
I know. I think he's
Kenny Pickett 2.0.
Like, I just think of like a Brandon Whedon, Kenny Pickett. Like, I don't necessarily want a guy that's been in college football for 7 years.
I think if he puts up a good performance in the national championship, I'd take him for sure.
But here are your free agent quarterbacks currently. Okay. Daniel Jones injured. Aaron Rodgers might retire. Russell Wilson, been there, done that. Marcus Mariota, backup. Zach Wilson, backup. Tyrod Taylor, backup. Joe Flacco, Pickett, Garoppolo, Trubisky, Case Keenum, Trey Lance, Carson Wentz, Josh Johnson. Do I need to go? Malik Willis.
No,
Like,
you don't. You don't. No, you do
rough.
not.
That is the
I
worst
wouldn't go.
quarterback class I've ever seen.
It's bad,
No.
man. Honestly, on this list, Malik Willis is probably who I would want the most,
Wow,
which is kind of scary.
it's bad.
If we had Mike Tomlin 1,000%, I think we get Malik Willis.
Really.
Probably. He loved Malik Willis coming out of college.
Yeah.
The mighty draft
right.
pick.
I mean,
I think there was a lot of pressure
can't-
there.
Yeah, he can't just pick who he wants, even though he has influence. Even though he takes credit for it,
I don't know. I think he's the head coach. I'd say that was his fault.
because he could have got Lamar Jackson. He
That
didn't
was
get Lamar
2018.
Jackson.
That was 2018, and he drafted.
Was
that
he not
kid.
the head coach?
He was, and he could have gotten him. Instead, he went for a third-round talent in the first round in Terrell Edmonds.
He could have got Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
He didn't get him either. Like it's, I don't think he could just. Yes, he has influence. Yes, people listen to him and stuff like that, but he can't just go out here and just pick who he wants. I will give him that grace.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tricky one. Let's talk head
But
coach.
I don't want Malik Willis. I would rather pick somebody from college and go from there.
Carson Beck. That's my guy.
All right.
All right. So let's talk head coaching candidates. We've seen 5 interviewed so far. The Miami defensive coordinator, something like that. We saw Shal Haas. We saw Jesse Minter, Brian Flores, and Chris Shula, who's a pretty hot name right now. What do we think? Maybe give a top 3 out, wide.
Before we do that, I got a couple comments I can hit real quick. DCR 1975 says, I understand that he had to go, but still very sad. Excited for the change though.
Definitely.
And I feel the exact same way. Aldo Santumaro, he says Mike Tomlin left a wound and void in me.
Facts, bro.
I
mean, at least we're finally getting some change.
Yeah.
It was getting old.
It would be great if we got HC. He said Indiana Hoosiers.
Signetti.
Yeah, Signetti. Yeah, Sig. I heard a lot about Sig, man.
He's a hometown guy too.
Yeah.
I like Shula.
1,000%.
I like Shula, Freeman, and Minter. Those are my big 3.
Yeah.
And if
I like
Shula
Freeman.
comes, I think
Freeman.
Yeah.
I thought I liked Freeman, but the more I've thought about it, I don't trust the college to pro jump. I feel like we've seen it so many times and it doesn't go well. I do think that, I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I will say that I have enjoyed watching things about Marcus Freeman. He seems to be a good leader of men, but I just really worry about the college to pro jump because it's definitely different.
Yeah, I think we definitely would need a year because, look at a guy like Jim Harbaugh. He didn't have a great season year 1, and then he kind of heated up.
I think that statement used to hold more weight before NIL.
Fair.
I think these college coaches are presented with a challenge
that's fair.
They've never seen before.
Yep.
And I say in equal, you know what I'm saying? Like people are, oh yeah, Steelers are gonna suck. You know what I'm saying? Hey bro, free agency, draft picks, we got everything at our disposal, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You pick up the right guy. Tomlin had guys want to come here. You pick up the right guy, he's gonna have guys want to come here too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a circle of life. You know what I'm saying? Like
when you're hiring a head coach, right, there's 2 things you really want. You want a guy that's either very offensive minded or defensive minded, right? You want one or the other. And you want a guy that's going to come in here and be a culture setter, right? Look at a guy like Kyle Shanahan. The 49ers have had how many injuries? No one expected them to go this far. He's a fantastic scheme guy, and they're still competing, and they have one of the best odds to win the Super Bowl this year. That's a guy that's going to come in. Obviously, we're not getting him, but you want to find a guy that profiles like him or Sean McVay and, that have the Matt McVay tree seems to be legit right now.
Because I want to pick an apple from that tree, and that's
absolutely
right now. I think that
Yeah, Shula. You said it's Shula, right?
Chris Shula.
Yeah, for sure.
He's on that coaching tree. He's a big name right now. Jesse Minter, I wouldn't mind. But I don't. Zap, you brought up a good point. Don't get anyone in here with head coaching experience because obviously it didn't work out if they are not staying there, right?
Yep.
Facts.
And that's why Flores is my only potential retread. And that's just because I feel like the Dolphins did him a disservice because they openly wanted the tank, and he said no. And they were winning games. Now they finished that season, like 500?
Yeah.
But, still, I think he got a raw end of the deal. That's why he's the only retread that I would be interested in. Other than that, I think Minter, Shula would be great options.
Yeah.
I did hear on the radio today, listen, I just want to float this past you guys real fast.
Yep.
Brace yourselves a little bit.
Okay. Oh, strap in.
There was someone alluded to the fact that there is not a 0% chance that Arthur Smith could be interviewed to be the head coach and be promoted from offensive coordinator.
Actually, Arthur Smith II already said, because the question was asked. That's the other thing he said. He said, are there any coordinators on the team right now that would be available for like the head coaching position? And he basically said no.
Great. I'm glad what I heard
he shut that down. He shut that down. And I was like, that's one rumor we can shut down. That's one rumor we can just go ahead and put away with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he's like, nah, bro, I'm not tanking. Like, no.
He also
send him back to Tennessee.
Great. I'm glad to hear you say that, Boomin.
He also said that whoever this new coach is going to be able to bring in his own people.
As he should be.
Yes, he did. He gave him that room. Yep.
Because that means that literally everyone is replaceable right now. Yep. Everyone, like I don't know if anyone has any job security. I don't know if these people.
Danny Smith's the only guy that probably will be retained.
Danny Smith gonna come back for a pack of gum and some. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll be back.
Man,
he'll be back.
I don't know how much he really did this year. The captain was great on special teams, and it was good enough. But was it great? I don't know. And that'll come down to the next head coach. I hope it's Shula Minter. Those are probably my biggest two, but we'll see how it all unfolds. But I think if you bring Shula in here, it gives you a serious chance to also get that guy Schauhaus, right?
Schauhaus.
You also get Raheem Morris maybe as your defensive coordinator.
Raheem Morris would be an awesome get at defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
What about Mike McDaniels at OC? Do we like that?
No, I don't like it. I know a couple people have said they liked it. I don't think he's a leader, bro. I think even if you're a coordinator, you still gotta be a leader of men to a certain degree. And those joggers in Pittsburgh in the wintertime, nah, bro.
Yeah, I wonder how much guys fully respect him. I do think he's a pretty good offensive mind. What I dislike him being the offensive coordinator, maybe yes, maybe no. I feel like I'd be pretty on the fence with him just because I do think he can scheme well, but he just doesn't seem to be a guy that would fit into what you would expect from the Steelers culture.
Yeah, you got to put down the Colombian Bam Bam, bro. Like, nah, man, absolutely not, bro. Like, nah, I'm good. And if I'm wrong on that, like how some people were wrong about Aaron Rodgers, if I'm wrong on that, I'll stand on it. But I just don't think Art Rooney also talked about guys having to fit in. Like we have to be able to see what they bring and be able to like, meet in the middle of the road type thing. I don't think they're gonna meet in the middle of the road with that.
I will say I know whenever he hired Tomlin, 19 years ago, one of the things that was said was, this guy fits our culture. He wants to run the ball, play good defense and things like that, which was great at the time. But I'm glad I did not hear that kind of same rhetoric said again by Art Rooney.
Right.
Because I think that shows that, if he comes out and says the same thing, like this is Steelers football, we want to run the ball and play good defense. Like we're looking at the same thing for the past 19 years. And that's not necessarily the way we need to go.
It's a different league. Mm-hmm. Just like I seen guys not make basketball teams in high school because they shot too many threes. Now
Yeah.
the NBA is built on guys shooting threes. Like
Uh-huh.
if you can't knock down a three, you ain't making the team. You ain't gonna make it in the league. And
Yep.
Yeah.
so, it's a different league right now, bro.
Mhm.
Like,
I brought
and
up
right now, this is where we got to keep up with the times.
13 of the last 14 Super Bowl winning head coaches have been offensive minded. That's no joke. All right. If it rained for the past 25 years on January 1st, I'd bet it to rain for the 26th. Okay. It's the exact same here. Give me an offensive minded head coach. And worst case scenario, get a young defensive mind that's more innovative because maybe the league is like this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like a
It's a copycat. Everybody do the
Mhm.
same thing.
wing, right? But let's be real. To be a great coaching staff, you got to have some partnerships. The head coach kind of needs to work with the offensive coordinator. If this guy's more defensive and this guy's offensive, he's got to be communicative with both of his coordinators. Coordinators got to, it's got to work down like that. It's trickle down. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
if you look at coaches across the league, right? If you're a top end offensive minded head coach, I look at a guy like Andy Reid, right? He has a potential Hall of Fame defensive coordinator at his helm with Spagnuolo, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
if you are that, coded on one side, like you have to have a guy on the other side of the ball that you can,
Yep.
you can trust to be the head coach in that situation on that end of the ball, right? So
And I
hopefully
think
we
that's
can
why they've
find
been
that.
so successful. KC's have had a great defense and offense for
Mhm.
those couple years that they had it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that you need a quarterback though, and that's no joke. Who's it going to be? Is my question.
The thing that's frustrating to me is I feel as though we're talking about rebuilding and going through all this, we have to build a team that is able to like compete, right? So
Mhm.
what I mean by that is we got slammed across the middle all season, bro. Like we didn't have an answer for that.
Mm-mm.
We didn't have an answer for that. In almost 20 weeks of football, there was no answer for that. And we got the highest paid defense.
Yep.
Like there has to be an obvious change. Like, and it has to be, anybody can get let go, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care who you are. Like anybody can go.
Yep.
And the motto and the slogan should be nobody's bigger than the logo.
Yep.
Because people acting like because Mike Tomlin's not there, we're automatically gonna be losers, bro. Nobody's bigger than the logo. And I think Mike Tomlin would say that himself.
So
What I'm saying?
one question for you. Speaking of the logo,
Yeah.
so there is one guy that for all intents and purposes is the logo, right? And that's Art Rooney, the owner of the team. Do
Yeah.
we trust him in his process to hire the right guy?
Well, he said in his presser that it was gonna be him and Omar.
Mm-hmm.
And I do trust Omar because
And
Omar
other people.
well, yeah. But I trust Omar. Like if Omar, if they say, "Hey, bro, you the GM," you know what I'm saying? You take the reins on this. And he did also say how he was involved with Bill Cowher. Like he kind of
He was.
He kind of explained like very small, like how his role was with Bill Cowher and the Mike Tomlin hirings. So I think he has experience in like at least going through shuffling through the candidates type thing.
Sure.
But yeah, I do trust that. I do trust that. And him saying those things gave me a little bit of confidence. But I do trust Omar. Like Omar has been batting on 1,000 on these draft picks. He's been batting 1,000. You know what I'm saying? For the 2 years that he's had the ability to draft like fully, he's done pretty good. All of Colbert guys are gone. Everybody, even that last year they gave him that they should have let Omar draft. Everybody he picked up is gone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do trust that.
See, I give Rooney the benefit of the doubt. I trust Rooney more than I do Omar in this situation, and I'll tell you why. Because Rooney has done it before. He's got us Cower and he's got us Tomlin, both great hires, right? Guys almost off the street. Like I know Tomlin was kind of a
I
defensive
think
coordinator. Go ahead, Boomin.
he was just in the room.
Yeah, I
we
mean
talking
Dan was still around hiring those guys.
Right. That was Dan, bro.
But
I
at
think,
least
but
Art
I'm
knows
saying
what it takes.
him being in the room helps. So
Absolutely.
he's able to see what the process is like.
Yep.
So I think it's gonna be a collective effort. But I
And
do
that's
want
the
to let
way
you
it
finish
should
your
be.
thought.
That's the way it should
Yeah.
be. And I'm going
Yeah.
to say this about Omar. Like, the only great thing about him is his drafts, I think. Because, like, if we're being honest, like, I think that was one of the biggest mistakes in Steelers franchise history. I mean, with the way that Pickens went out and played in Dallas. And, you guys can disagree with me on that one. I think that it was also time for a change at that position. But I will also say, like, the dude just had one of the best receivers a receiver has ever had in the NFL as of late. And he was top 5 this year, and that's not even an argument. It's a
That
fact.
scheme, though. That scheme,
I know
though.
definitely
I
really helps.
I disagree with you on the Pickens trade.
But
I
he didn't
honestly
go
I
out and
honestly
replace
do.
him. He didn't go out and replace Pickens.
That I think is a fair critique on him.
That's the problem, yeah.
But I think that I still stand on that. Trading Pickens was the right decision. I don't care what he did in Dallas. Because I guarantee you, if he goes somewhere next year, say he goes to the Raiders or the Panthers, someone's going to pay him a
Ravens
bag.
go. That's a rumor.
Like, I mean, he could, but
He's
like,
so bad.
Hey,
say
man.
he ends up in.
I ain't gonna lie. GP, I
he's-
miss GP, bro. I miss
He's
GP.
very situational in terms of
Yeah.
the team and culture, man.
Yeah. I miss GP. I ain't gonna hold you.
I think
I wish I
he's a
just
great
wanted to
player.
see it. I just wanted to see it at least until the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Like that's really,
He
you know what I'm
could have
saying?
gotten
Like,
a third-round pick at the trade deadline.
yeah, like I just wanted to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like to see what it
Yeah.
because we could have used them. Like and it ended up the season boiled down to picking up Adam Thielen and MVS in efforts of trying to replace GP. Like I stand on that. We missed GP this year. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't like GP talking about he went to Dallas. They know him for the Super Bowls. I ain't like all that. That was a crazy statement to me. You know what I'm saying? But
he's a diva and he's gonna be him. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like he can catch a dang football, and DK
Yeah.
did, and that was
Yeah.
part of the reason that we lost against the Texans. Because even if you have George Pickens, like he's probably good for a touchdown in a couple of those kind of games where they're just eating it down. Like look at the Ravens game last year. Like that boy went up 1 against 2, and Rush just said, "All right, you want to know what? Let me just eat this up." And Pickens spun around, span out of it, and went for the touchdown. It was ridiculous. That's the kind of stuff George Pickens can do.
This right here on the screen you just put up.
I
This
agree.
comment.
I agree with you guys on that. But
100%.
what
I
I'm
agree with
trying
that.
to get at is that Omar Khan is not a perfect GM. I thought he was before
No, I don't
the start of
think
this
he is.
season. I thought he was. Before May 7th, I thought he was the perfect GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was very happy with a lot of the moves he was making. Still am, but he's not perfect. As much as everyone thinks he is, he's not.
I'm very
biased.
I'm very curious because honestly, going into an age and era without Tomlin, with just Omar Khan, it's really going to show us how much decision-making power Tomlin had in that front office.
Yes,
right?
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
Because before Omar Khan, even with him, like people always said, like Tomlin's making the draft picks, Tomlin's making personnel decisions. Tomlin wants this guy, doesn't want this guy. Maybe Tomlin wanted Jalen Ramsey. We went out and traded for him. I want Pickens out of here. All right, I'll get rid of him for you. So it's going to be interesting to see what Omar Khan can do or does do without Mike Tomlin at the helm.
Yep. Let's see what you do.
Because we're not bringing in a coach with that kind of resume that's going to be here's the keys to the Steelers franchise. They're going to have to earn that.
I think there is going to be some guidance with it, but I do think that Omar Khan is going to be doing the majority of the work.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
And just real quick, Cymbeline, I don't think GP plays the way in Pittsburgh. He plays in Dallas. We agree with that. Yeah, we'll agree with that 1,000%. Because it came down to scheme. They basically took out CD. They basically took out CD Lamb and put in GP, and they ran the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to ask you all, on a scale of 1 to 10, right? What is Omar had 2 years? It's at the full range of GM.
Three drafts.
He had 2 drafts, but he was a GM for 3 years.
He's had 3 drafts because he had Harmon this year, he had Fautanu, and he had Broderick. Those were his 3 first round.
I thought
Broderick was Kevin Colbert.
Yeah, I thought that first draft they kept Colbert around.
That was Colbert.
And they had him draft.
Colbert did the draft, but he was the GM, which I thought was the dumbest thing ever. Like, why are you letting a guy that's not going to be the GM draft guys? That makes no sense to me. But so yeah, that's what happened. The first year that was technically his year,
That was Colbert.
He didn't do the draft. Colbert did the draft. And after the draft, they let him take over, which I thought was the silliest thing. But with the time that he has been at GM, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give Omar?
So Colbert was April and then did the draft and then somehow he retired and then Omar took over. Okay.
Yes.
No, they went into that knowing they went into that.
That was the agreement for that going into that draft.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So what do I rate him off out of 10? Solid 8.
Yeah, I would say an 8. That's what I was thinking.
I respect that. Yeah, I respect that. So he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good, man.
But he's not doing great, and we're tired of
8 is great. 8 is great,
bro. 8 out of 10. It's not great. It's not.
Huh?
It's just good. It's just good. He's just been good. I should change my answer to a 7 now. If this is the way.
Now you want to change your answer, okay?
But he's just been good. I mean, what has he done? Okay, because all right, let's go to the 2023 Steelers draft. All right, we'll run through these. 2023 Steelers draft. Okay.
All right, let's run through it.
Also, chat's getting active now too.
Chat's definitely getting active. Broderick wasn't him. That was Kevin Colbert.
Again, the Broderick draft is not Colbert, or was Colbert, not Con.
But the 2023 draft was Broderick. That's my.
But that was Kevin Colbert. Kevin Colbert. It was stupid. I was gonna say it was dumb. Kevin Colbert did the draft. No, and we knew Omar was taking over as the GM. It didn't make any sense.
Hang on. I'm confused here, right? Because when I look it up on Google, it says, okay, it was 2020.
Ronan, you're confusing yourself because the year was 2023, but that was at the end of the 2022 season. So we've had already the 2025 draft. That was this past year.
But that's what
you're getting messed up on.
Hold up. I could have swore.
Broderick was Kevin Colbert, bro.
Bro, I could have swore that was Omar. I could have swore because it says the general.
Change your answer back to 8. That was Kevin Colbert. That was Kevin Colbert.
The chat is agreeing 8 to 8.5.
Can the chat? It says the general. When I look up who was the 2023 Steelers draft GM, the general manager for the Pittsburgh Steelers during the 2023
Here's
NFL
your
draft.
answer. Here's your answer right
Khan.
here. Colbert did the last draft. Omar has only had 2.
Colbert was not the GM during that draft. It had been known that Khan was becoming the GM, but they let Colbert participate in the draft, which was the drama around that time where it was like, why are you not just letting Khan do this?
Right.
Am I right in saying that Omar Khan was at the top of that draft? Can someone agree with me there in this studio that Omar Khan technically was the GM then? Right? Whether
technically, I think he was, but Colbert was the one. They were very upfront with the fact that Colbert was the one in charge of the draft, regardless of titles.
You know what? Let's just start in the 2024 draft.
Yeah,
I'm almost sure that he drafted Broderick.
So basically, that year Colbert did the draft, but you could say Omar did the free agency, if that makes more sense.
Yeah,
they did not give him the reins to draft.
I'm just gonna go and say this. Omar's a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 in the draft. I'd probably put it more closer to a 9. I think he's had 1 or 2 misses, like Dante Kent, he took in the 7th round, Caleb Johnson, Roman Wilson, guys like that. And that's a fact. You can't draft a guy. Two third-round picks are basically waste now, right? Sure. Imagine trading George Pickens for Roman Wilson, and this is because Roman Wilson was a third-round pick. Wouldn't we all be pissed? We'd say Omar Khan's the worst general manager in all of history of general managers, right? We're Steeler fans. That's all we do. But it's a fact that Omar Khan did not go out and replace George Pickens, which he tanked our season, right?
Listen, I think Boomin and I both agree with you that him not replacing the wide receiver 2 was a big problem. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised that we've gotten down this rabbit hole of kind of psychoanalyzing Omar Khan out of how this whole conversation is going.
Listen, I think that
for kicks and giggles, do the 2023 draft, and then we can go because I know you want to do the 2023 draft.
2024. Oh, you still want to go over 2023?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do 2023. Okay. Let's show how bad Kevin Colbert was. Yeah, let's do that.
The 2023 NFL draft for the Steelers. You got Broderick. We traded up for Broderick. We got Keanu Benton, Darnell, Herbig, Trice, and Spencer Anderson. I'm almost sure that this was Omar Khan.
No. That was Colbert.
This was a
You said
2020
Herbig was good.
Broderick,
Darnell Washington and
Keanu Benton, Darnell, Nick Herbig.
I mean,
Jordan
that's a
Spencer
decent
Anderson.
draft.
That's
It's a
great
decent draft. It's a decent draft.
If you get 3 or 4 guys
Broderick,
that are
Broderick,
participating on your
yeah.
team 3 years later, that's a decent draft.
That's a decent draft.
Mhm.
That's a
All
decent
right,
draft.
go to 24.
2024 NFL draft. Okay, you had Troy Fautanu, you had Zach Frazier, Roman Wilson, Peyton Wilson, Mason McCormick, Logan Lee, and Ryan Watts. So you probably had Ryan
Yeah, you
Watts
went to
was
that
a miss,
super fast.
Logan Lee was a miss, Roman Wilson was a miss.
So you had
That's-
4 out of 7 hit.
Yep, decent
That's
draft.
that's a good draft.
2025, Derek Harmon, Caleb Johnson, Jack Sawyer, Wyatt Black, Will Howard, Carson Bruner, and Dante Kent. I would say
You
can't
have
really-
3 for sures that impacted the team this year.
Harmon, Sawyer, Wyatt.
One of those draft picks is a depth quarterback, so it's hard to say. But 1 year in, I still think that's an okay draft. Like I don't know if it's the best, but it's tough to always analyze the draft from the year before.
I'm just intrigued to see what direction this franchise as a whole takes after the Tomlin firing.
It's going to go back to like what we did with the Killer Bees, how they was invested fully on the offense. I think it's going to go back to that. I think they're going to try to hold as many defensive pieces as they can, in hopes of, hey man, I know you like Mike Tomlin, but you know what I'm saying, we're going to turn it around. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the new direction forward. I think they're going to invest heavily in the offense this draft, starting with the line, then wide receivers, and then they're going to flip it to like middle linebackers. Like in free agency, we ain't even talked about free agency and none of that yet. So,
Yeah.
um,
No, Omar's been good. He deserves an 8.5. All right, let's all relax. Okay, I was a little over the top there, to be fair.
Can we let's go back real quick to the interviews, I think.
Yeah.
And really talk about Boomin's frozen. But let's talk about these guys that we've interviewed. So we talked about Nate Shieldhouse, Chris Shula, Brian Flores, Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, and then was there a fifth one?
There's Brian Flores and Jesse Minter were announced.
Yeah, so Jesse Minster was the fifth one. So of those 5 guys, what's your perfect scenario of hiring?
Shula brings in Shieldhouse with the defensive coordinator Raheem.
Yeah,
I think that's ideal for me. Because Raheem, he can do his thing. Shula, you hope you got a good scheme for Raheem to kind of execute on, and hopefully Shieldhouse makes it happen as a offensive.
an OC.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense, especially if you bring in Shula and Shieldhouse somehow together, both of them coming from the Rams.
Yep.
I think it might be tough to get them both. But if you could pull that off, I think that would be a huge get for the Steelers.
I agree. I definitely agree. And we'll see how it all kind of pans out for sure. It's kind of crazy, just to see Mike T he's gone. It's kind of crazy, and it's
I think there's we talked earlier. There's a lot of emotion going on with this Mike T leaving situation. Because again, not fired, he left on his own. And I think that in a few years we'll look back and be like, we did have a good with him. Like he was a great coach. He did a lot for this organization, did a lot for this town.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's a lot of upset fans because we've been so mid of late, and that's unacceptable to us as fans. So, what do you think the most likely outcome for Tomlin is? I'm assuming he's going to go to TV for a year and then try and get back into coaching.
I think it'll be like a year or 2 off, and then he'll come back. But it's
I hope we talked about Omar Khan a little bit. I hope that he's able to pull off some type of trade at some point, because when Sean Payton got traded from the Saints to the Broncos, they received, I believe, a first-round draft pick the next season or the next draft, a second-round pick the season after, and then they gave up Sean Payton in a third-rounder. So if we could get that for Tomlin, that would be massive.
We could be really good in 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely, man.
But I'm intrigued to see how it all unfolds, like in the short term, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to read through these comments real fast before. Hey, he's back.
What up,
welcome back.
I don't even know what happened, bro.
You're all good.
Yeah, but I do think that we're about to wrap up here, guys. So we'll drop the predictions. What are your guys' perfect picks for head coach?
I think what we just discussed, I'm in agreement with you. My top choice would be Chris Shula, followed by Minter, and then trying to get Shieldhouse possibly as an OC if possible. Yep. But I wouldn't be upset with us taking a risk on him as head coach either.
I just think that Shula definitely brings in Shieldhouse for me. Like, I think that's probably pretty likely, because Shula goes from passing game coordinator to offensive coordinator.
Yeah, seems like a reasonable jump.
Shula goes defensive coordinator, head coach. Like, they both jump forwards, So
I'm liking Shula, man. But I also said I like Marcus Freeman. So I don't know.
Definitely going to be a couple answers that we need, But all right, guys. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. Hopefully, maybe we'll be on here next week talking about head coaching.
Might have a hire by then.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully,
man.
Hey, before we go, there's 8 teams left in this dance. Who we liking for the Super Bowl?
Buffalo versus Seattle for me.
Booming.
I hope Buffalo can get there. Their fan base deserve it.
I don't like Buffalo. I hope they make it and lose.
My pre-season prediction, or my pre-playoff prediction, was Rams over Patriots. So I'm going to hold strong to that until they're out. So
I don't like the Patriots.
After watching that Chargers game, I do not.
I hate them.
But going into the playoffs, that's who I thought. So
yep.
I as much as it pains me to say, I do believe in Drake May. I think he's a good talent and can get him there. But I would like to see Buffalo make it. But we'll see. I still think the Rams are the best team, but them going East Coast again is going to be tough.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, let's hope the 49ers will pat someone the bowl. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Steel City Takes. We really appreciate the live comments, you guys interacting as well. Check this episode out in full on Steel City Recaps on YouTube. We'll have a couple clips up. And, we'll see what happens. Shula, Minter, Freeman, we do not care. We need someone that can fulfill the standard, fulfill the shoes. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Have a good night, everybody. Here we go. Steelers, peace out.
Peace.
Steel crew, we out.